Revolutionary greetings, man. Haki Kweli Shakur, man, coming at you again today with my new topic, Black August, the Underground Railroad. So I'm going to hop right on into it. Shout out to all the comrades that, started the Black August commemoration month. That was casualties, man. Got the black headband on around my head to represent consciousness and to represent New African resistance, and the cats who died getting this commemoration and in memory of this commemoration and who this commemoration is for. Tari Golden, W.L. Nolan, George Jackson, and all the other combatants, man. This video is about the Virginia Underground Railroad and the Southern Underground Railroad and the Midwest Underground Railroad, which started on August 2nd. So I wanted to do this topic because of the show that just passed in the new series, The Underground, which I thought was dope. If you haven't seen it, go check it out on WGN. Also, shout out to George Jackson Radio, man. Just did a radio interview with them a couple of months ago, man, about street organizations. Go check that out. And shout out to the K. Kente show, man. We got 2 new episodes up from this past season on February. New season coming in September, so go check that out on his YouTube channel. This video is about the Underground Railroad of Virginia. We already know about the historical overall Underground Railroad. I felt like I needed to make this video because we don't know that much about the Southern Underground Railroad, which took our ancestors south. We already know about the Up North Trail. So let's talk about the Southern Underground Railroad and why the importance of needing this information to be studied and for us to go back to this information, because I feel like it's that time, man, because the Underground Railroads was so strategic, man. It was a telecommunications network. You feel me? So that just gave me the idea to bring this topic back up because we need to get offline, man. Point blank. You know what I'm saying? It's good to build and organize online through these social media sites, but it's time to get offline and go back underground like our ancestors went underground, man, for our freedom, liberation, independence, sovereignty, and land, man. It's time, man. We can't keep showing our oppressors everything. You see what I'm saying? We got to get back to our sacred ways and our sacred cultures of our ancestors, man. And the Virginia Underground and the Underground Railroad was one of the most powerfulest networks, man. It helped our ancestors get free up north and down south and to set up free, independent communities. So let me get right into it, man. The Virginia Underground Railroad, South and Midwest, basically was about organizing communications, organized organized telecommunications that we need to get back to, basically, man. So what is the underground? The underground is basically just going under, man. Going into secrecy, moving strategically. You know what I mean? Like the Black Liberation Army also did this too. They also used the term underground when they went underground. Sometimes it can literally mean go underground, but not really. It's just moving in a more strategic and intelligent way is what the underground represents, man, to get to freedom, liberation, sovereignty, whatever. You feel me? So this is what the underground is. You feel me? And we need to get back to that, man. The Underground Railroad. What does it mean? It doesn't literally mean that we hopping on a train and riding on the railroad tracks. You feel me? It's a network of communications and things of that nature. But let me just go ahead and get into it. The underground means to go under. Hold on. Let me get this straight right here. The underground means to go under, move in secrecy, to avoid capture, avoid death, avoid assassinations, avoid attacks from the slave catchers and the slave patrol, avoid going back to the plantation, avoiding going back into slavery, back into bondage. This is what the underground means, to go underground and to move strategically on the oppressor and the oppressive system and the capitalist system of slavery or any oppressive system, period. This is what the Underground Railroad means. The Underground Railroad in Virginia was a series of secret networks, safe houses, often working independently of one another and manned by blacks and some Europeans. Just Europeans helped us also. Designed to help designed to help enslaved Africans, political prisoners, escape to North Canada, but within this video, south to Florida, the Spanish colony of Florida, where many of our ancestors ran to. One of the main reasons why this was set up was because of the Fugitive Slave Law. The Fugitive Slave Law was put in force between 1793 and 1850, which made escapes more difficult. It led to the development of the Underground Railroad, the term that gained popularity by the 1840s. Quakers in Philly, New York, North Carolina, anti-slavists, aided kidnapped Africans with help from free blacks, man. Some slaves began to develop networks to smuggle themselves to freedom. The Virginia Underground Railroad. The Virginia, with the highest slave population at the time, had the greatest number of fugitive runaway slaves that left mostly by sea and remaining in the North and Canada, where they set up independently black communities. 80% of these ancestors escaped to Canada. Came from Virginia, Maryland, Kentucky, and escaped to Ontario. This is where most of our ancestors, this is the up north part of the Virginia Underground Railroad. Governor of Mississippi, he said that the South lost over 100,000 slaves valued at $30 million in today's dollars through the Underground Railroad. See, that shows you how much that system damaged them economically. Something else we need to get back into, damaging these oppressive and the ruling class systems and the capitalist system of exploitation through economic depletion, hitting them in their pockets. You feel me? Not governor, but the great William Steele, man. One of the head conductors was a black cat from Philly. Wrote a book about the Underground Railroad in 1872. He had evidence over 100 narratives of escaped slaves who actually got free from Virginia and went north or either went south. They came from Petersburg, Richmond, Portsmouth, Norfolk, Alexandria, Berkeley, Fairfax County, Hedgefield, St. Stephen's Church, Loudoun County, even all the way to the DMV area, which is Maryland, D.C. and Virginia, in the northern part of Virginia, man. A lot of our people escaped up north to Philly, Toronto, Hamilton, Canada, Montreal, New York, Boston, and all these type of areas. Most of these escapes took place on schooners, steamships, horses, ships, and vessels. Notable escapees, man. This is just a few of them. Henry Box Brown, who escaped in a box from Chaco Bottom, Richmond, Virginia. Shadrach Minikins. Many people don't know about him, but go research him. Another popular escape. He escaped from Norfolk, Virginia to Boston. Who else? The most famous case of them all, one of the most famous cases, Anthony Burns. Go research him because his case can tell you about a lot of things that's been going on to date. The Anthony Burns case of him escaping from Norfolk by ship to Boston. Go look him up. Also, two Virginians enslaved named Richard Boham and William Johnson. And William, with the help of Harriet Tubman, established safe places and safe houses in St. Catharines in 1850. St. Catharines, if you don't know what that is up north in Canada. Also, a couple of more cats named George Lattimore from Norfolk also escaped to Boston. George Johnson, Isaac Williams, two females. Can't forget the females. Females were putting in work too. Mary Frances escaped from Norfolk, Virginia. She was 23 years old. 28-year-old Eliza Henderson escaped Richmond, Virginia. Nancy Granham, 19-year-old, who actually escaped from Virginia to make it up north. Let me move right on along to the Loudoun County Underground Railroad, where one of our greatest abolitionists was putting down the network of the Underground Railroad in Loudoun County. This cat was from D.C. named Leonard Grimes. From 1817 to 1861, one of the most popular cases. If you don't know that, go look that up. Leonard Grimes. I'm going to be posting all this stuff on